Hey everybody, it's me, Donna. Well, today is Monday and Mother's Day was yesterday, so happy Mother's Day to everybody. Um, I told a lot of people on Facebook happy Mother's Day and stuff. I even called my aunts. Well, I called Aunt Dottie and I called Aunt Mary and I wished them a happy Mother's Day. And my friend, I called her and wished her a happy Mother's Day. But but today I've been writing stories. Well, I've been writing stories for a while, and about my life and stuff like that. And and then I wanted to talk about my mom and my some of my relatives and stuff too. And that they used to work at Beta Shoe Factory a long time ago. Well, Beta Shoe Factory is in the middle. It's in Aberdeen, Edgewood. It was like in the middle on Route 40. They said that was Bell Camp area. That was Bell Camp area for that. And it was a shoe factory, and it started in there in 1939. My mom, I don't think she worked there in 1939 because she wasn't born. Well, she was born, but she was real little, so I don't think she wasn't working at no factory yet. And my mom, she didn't just work at Beta. She worked at a couple different factories. She worked at Etna. Etna was in Baltimore, and she worked at one in oh God, PA. That was Delta, PA. She worked at the factory up there sewing. And but a bunch of my relatives, excuse me, I gotta look. Um, a bunch of my relatives worked at Beta. So that was pretty cool. And I know some people that worked there. I never worked at Beta. Maybe I should have, but I didn't. I didn't think I was factory material. I didn't think I was a factory person. Okay. No, my Aunt Nancy, she worked on the sew machine and she made piece rates. She was a really good sewer and she worked there for a long, long time. And her and my Uncle Ronnie, they got together there and stuff, so that was pretty cool. I like that. My cousin Sandy, she worked there for a while, and who else worked there? Her mom worked there, so that was like the second generation, not first generation. My grandmother never worked at Beta Shoe Factory, neither one of them. They never worked at Beta Shoe Factory because they my one grandmother, she had 10 kids, so she took care of them. The other one had 16, so they were busy people. And but anyway, so let me tell you something else too. While I am talking about Beta Shoe Factory, I am making a blanket. I'm using this and I'm using this purple, and this is. I got some of my squares sewed together, so I just want to show you it. See, I got some of them sewed together already. Yeah, but this is like the starting. I haven't tied any ends in yet. No ends yet have been tied in. And it's kind of sloppy, but I mean, when it comes together, it should look good. And what it is knitting. It's not crocheting. It's gonna be a knitted blanket. I mean, a knitted blanket, not a crocheted blanket. And, so it should be nice. Hopefully, I really like art stuff. I'm a arty person, but I've been working on this thing for a while now. But anyway, Beta Shoe Factory, they had a bus that would come and pick you up and stuff, which was really cool. My mom worked in Edgewood. I mean, she lived in Edgewood, in Edgewood Heights. That's what they called it. Now they call it Edgewood Commons. And she worked there, right? And my couple of my aunts worked there too. Aunt Diane and Aunt Dolores. I think even Aunt Mary worked there. Um, my Aunt Diane and Aunt Dolores worked on sewing machines. Aunt Diane sewed her finger a couple of times. I don't know how many times she sewed her finger. I think she did at least 2 times. That was bad. She sewed her finger. Oh my goodness. But Aunt Diane and Aunt Dolores worked there. And they had these really long steps. Like you was on the 5th floor and you had to walk all the way down these steps. to get out of the building. But I was young at the time, and I didn't really like the idea that you had to walk down all those steps. Maybe that was one of the reasons why I didn't get the job. But my mom had like 3 or 4 jobs in Beta. She worked on a sewing machine. She packed food. She worked on a conveyor belt. My brother, he did all kinds of stuff for Beta. He worked at Beta for a while, but he couldn't handle it. So he got into a different field. He got into like construction because he was really good at making stuff. So he went over to construction and was working on construction. But the way the Beta got started was the person who owned Beta or built Beta was this person. He was from Germany, and he came over here to get away from Hitler, the Nazi party, and because he realized that Hitler was going to take over there, and he wanted to get out of there, get his family out of there, and some of his people and stuff. But what he did was he brought over probably about 100 people, and then only 25 stayed at Beta, and they became United States citizens. And then some of them went to another factory, and they became citizens. But I heard he had to send some of them back over there too. So that probably wasn't a very good time to be sending people back over. But anyway, and it said it had 2,000 acres of land over there by Bush River. That's what he had. And then he had a big house over there. He had a farmhouse, which is pretty nice. And then the people that worked at Beta that were from his community or his where he was from, they could just walk across the street and go to Beta. I think that's pretty cool. But they had the bus too, right? And they said they had a post office, a grocery store. They had a place where people could rent places to live. They had a big hotel. Oh my God. Um, it. I mean, I bet that place was really nice in its heyday and stuff. I think they should make a movie on it because it would be really cool. And then maybe at the end, some of the people from who used to work there when they were young, like my mom is gone, but a couple of my aunts are still there. Like Aunt Nancy's still alive, and Aunt I don't know if Aunt Beulah worked there or not, but I know that Diane and Dolores are still alive, and Uncle Ronnie's still alive. So maybe they could use some of those people and some of the people from Edgewood Heights. That would be kind of cool. Or some of the people from that community that could write like a little story or something. And I also heard that they have a building at Beta with a bunch of pictures, and they have like a little museum, and you can go in there and look at that stuff. I think that's pretty cool. I never knew they had that, but I really kind of like that idea. And my cousin Jackie said he worked there, and he worked there, and he said he even lived in the hotel for a while. But they said he got in a fight there, and something about a bottle being broken. But he said he didn't do that. So I think that's pretty good. And they used to have dances in Beta, which is kind of cool. And they had parties and stuff. Like if you had a birthday or something, they would give you a big party. And I think they had like Christmas parties there too. So that was pretty cool. And my Aunt Dolores lived in the hotel with her kids for a while. But they said it wasn't really expensive to live in there. It's not like rents nowadays. Like they're really expensive. Like even Edgewood Heights, what they call Edgewood Commons now, like poor people that didn't have a lot of money could live in Edgewood Heights, but now you gotta have a good pay, you gotta have a paycheck. Excuse me. You have to have a well, back then you had to have a job and stuff too, but
But now you need to make more money than what you were probably making back then because the cost of living is so high. And the rent for a one bedroom apartment in there is like $800. And if you're only working not like well, maybe even if you are working a full-time job, you got to pay your rent, your gas and electric. You got to make sure you bring home some food. You got to get some gas for your car. You got to make sure you got something for your kids. So so there wouldn't be a lot left. Yeah. But anyway, so it was like Jewish people, and then Hitler came into power and he took over Germany, and then all the poor German people were getting killed and stuff, which isn't very good. And it doesn't sound like it was just German people. I mean, Jewish people that were getting killed. It was people who didn't agree with him, like gay people. They killed gay people, and they killed people that were Christians that were helping the Jewish people and different things like that, which is not really nice. And so I think that's kind of bad. And that person, there's a person that wrote a book about Beta Shoe Factory, and you know, and he lives in a water edge, these really high buildings that they built at Beta, and they blew up all the buildings at Beta, and they put up like these three really tall buildings where you have to have a really good paycheck to live there. Oh my God! And so if you're poor, you're not gonna make it there. And then they had executive apartments, townhouses in Beta too, for people that had like the high paying jobs in Beta and stuff. And my cousin Jackie said he was only 16 when he worked at Beta. And what else? Oh, and Mike's sister said she worked at Beta, and his mother worked at Beta. And my cousin Linda said she worked at Beta. And they, Mike's sister said that she lived in Beta for a while. But it was really nice because everything was like convenient for you, and I think that's pretty cool. And then, like I said, they had a grocery store, they had a bank, they had a post office, they had a cafeteria where you can get something to eat. They had their own newspaper. I think that's pretty cool. And then the Baltimore Sun did a story on Beta about the guy that wrote the book about Beta, and so they still have places that you can get the book. It's down there in Havre de Grace. There's a novelty shop down there, and you can get the book in there. And for a time that man was signing, he was signing his name on the book, which I think that's pretty cool. And I think it would be pretty cool to look at. I know that's something my cousin would be interested in. The one that's doing a lot of history on our family and stuff. I think she would like that because Aunt Diane worked there and Aunt Dolores worked there, and I think she would be really, really interested in that. And so in 1940, they only had 650 people working there, and then slowly the Beta Shoe Factory had people working day and night, and then the people that came over from Germany became United States citizens, and that's pretty cool. And my mom worked night shift for a while at Beta Shoe Factory, and no, I think that's pretty good. And at that time, if you didn't have a lot of skills, Beta was the place to go because they would teach you how to do stuff, so you could get some skills and stuff for a different kind of job, which is kind of cool. And then back then, Maryland didn't have that many places where you could get a job. I mean, they had some places, but I'm sure that Beta helped the economy and stuff in Harford County. It was in Harford County. But Beta didn't just have it there. They had it in different places too, like different places that they had factories. They had couple factories, and then they worked day and night. And they had these shoes called Beta Bullets. Everybody, a lot of people liked them. And when they first started out, they were making leather shoes, but then they went to combat shoes, and they were working for the government. But slowly they were having problems, and then they stopped make they weren't making as many shoes because people weren't buying them, and they were getting them from other areas, from other shoemakers and stuff, from other companies. So, so I think that's pretty cool. I think that's really cool, and and so in they the buildings, the tall buildings, the new buildings that they made at Beta Shoe Factory, Beta, they still have a sign that says Beta on it. So I think that's pretty cool. And when you go down there, you drive through that area, they got a sign. It says Beta Boulevard, which is kind of cool. And and then they got a lot of buildings there, but they I think they blew that up in 2004. I think that's when they blew it up, blew up those buildings. They demolished those buildings, and they had a ton of people sitting out there and stuff. So I think that's pretty cool. And okay, so I think that's pretty cool. And what else? What else can I think of? Well, yeah, it was a part. It was. Oh, and that person, the person that did all this, that name that had the Beta factory. I don't think he can come to Maryland because I think he still owes money here. I'm not sure, like late, like old taxes or something like that. I don't know for sure if they ever got that cleaned up or not. I don't even know if the man is still alive or not. But yeah, they demolished that place. They blew it up. Yeah. And, and at one time that was like really good, and they had dances in there for single people and stuff. So I think that's all really really good, and I think that was a really good place for people. I never worked there. So I found other things to do, other kinds of work to do when I was a younger person. And my cousin Sandy worked there, but a lot of people quit and then came back, but they would always like hire you back. My mom moved around a lot, so I think maybe she moved to a different area, and then she came back to the other area, and then she would get her job. She would get a job back in a factory, which is kind of cool, you know. So I think that's a good thing. And so they were really really you know, and my mom was a single parent too. I mean, she was trying to raise me and my brother, doing the best she could, and they even had a bus so you could get over to Beta from Edgewood Heights. They called it Edgewood Heights, but now they call it Edgewood Commons. They had a bus, but you had to get up like super early in the morning to catch the bus to go to Beta, and then I guess to come back. But so yeah, it was really good, and a lot of my aunts worked there, and I think uh, I think the aunt that Nancy did retire from there. You know, I don't know. So anyway, this is my video, and I hope you guys like it. But I do think that they should make a movie, a Beta Shoe Factory, especially with all the history and stuff, and people meeting each other, and people going to dances, and people having to live in the hotel and stuff. I think it would be really good. So if you guys like my video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel. I love you all, and I hope you all have a really good day. Okay, talk to you later. Bye.